Welcome to the Project Management Prepcast, helping you prepare for the PMP exam. Here's your instructor, Cornelius Fichtner.
Hello and welcome to the Project Management Prepcast, where we show you that there will be life after you pass your PMP exam. In fact, it's mandatory. I'm your instructor, Cornelius Fichtner. In this lesson, we will be reviewing Professional Development Units, that's PDUs, and what they mean or will mean once you pass your PMP exam. Here are the topics for the lesson. We are going to be talking about some PDU basics. We are going to look at the 6 PDU categories in which you can earn the PDUs. We'll look at the number of PDUs you need. We'll see what happens if you have multiple PMI certification and how many PDUs you need to earn then. And of course, we're going to give you many ideas in which you will be able to earn those PDUs. Let's begin with a definition. The Professional Development Unit, PDU, is the measuring unit used to quantify approved learning and professional service activities. Typically, 1 PDU is earned for every hour spent engaged in an activity. And once you pass your PMP exam, you are going to have to earn 60 of these PDUs every 3 years. There is, however, a problem that I have identified over the past years. Not with the professional development units, no, with us PMPs. Let me explain. As a project manager, you have to be many things. To name just a few, you have to be a great communicator, a leader, a visionary. You have to be able to both build and inspire the team. But first and foremost, however, we have to be proactive. We have to anticipate issues on our projects. And on our projects, we employ strategies to plan the future in order to proactively minimize risk so that we can deliver on time to our customers. But we don't do it with the PDUs. That is why every year you can hear a collective groan rise from the worldwide PMP community, and they ask where can they quickly earn 10, 20, 30 or maybe even more PDUs before the end of their PMP renewal cycle. I think this is an acute case of our PMP community not even trying to proactively understand the PMI recertification requirements. And with this lesson here, I want to make sure that you understand what PDUs are and how the PMI renewal cycle works. The authoritative source when it comes to your PMI credential recertification is the Credential Handbook. Yes, the same handbook that I recommend that you read as you start your journey towards becoming certified. It also talks about how to keep your certification alive. As you probably know, you can find this on pmi.org in the Career Development section. It contains everything you need to know about your recertification. In a nutshell, it is going to tell you how you can gain PDUs in 6 categories, and I will highlight them in this lesson to show you how easy it is. Here's an overview of how PMI structured the 6 categories. So first of all, as a PMP, you are going to have to earn 60 PDUs every 3 years. And you can earn these 60 PDUs, generally speaking, in 2 main categories. In the education category and in the giving back to the community category. And below that, at the very bottom, we find the categories A, B, C, D, E, and F. Let's take a look at what each of those 6 categories is. Category A are courses from PMI registered education providers. Companies like us who are signed up to the PMI REP program, we are reviewed on a regular basis and our courses are pre-approved by PMI for PDUs. Category B are general continuing education training courses. In essence, everybody who is not a PMI registered education provider who gives you training in project management, that training goes under Category B, PDUs. Then in Category C, we'll talk about self-directed learning, like reading a book or watching a podcast. That would fall under Category C. Now, these first three here, this is the education division. And the second three, D, E, and F, that is the giving back to the community division. Under D, we have creating new knowledge. For example, do you have a project management blog, or do you occasionally write articles about project management topics? Well, every hour that you spend here, that goes into Category D to earn your PDUs. Are you maybe an elected official in your local PMI chapter? Well, then, for each hour that you volunteer for your local PMI chapter, you can earn a Category E PDU. And then finally, and this is really the easiest one to earn your PDUs in, Category F is simply doing your job. By working as a project manager, you can earn PDUs. So now we understand that there are 6 categories in which you can earn your PDUs, but PMI also distinguishes between general PDUs and PDUs that are earned in a specialized area, especially important if you hold multiple PMI certification. Here's how this works. As a PMP or a PGMP certification holder, you can earn PDUs that you need from any topic of project management. So any course that you take in project management will count towards your PDUs as long as it is related to project management and helps your education along. However, if you are the holder of the PMI ACP, the PMI RMP or SP, then you need to earn specialized PDUs. PMI ACP needs to earn PDUs in the specialized area of agile project management. A PMI RMP, your PDUs, they have to come from the specialized area of risk management. And you can probably guess this one. As a PMI SP, as a scheduling professional, you need to earn your PDUs in the specialized area of project scheduling. Like I said, these general and specialized PDUs become especially important if you are the holder of multiple certifications. We'll look at that later. Right now, let's jump into each of these 6 categories in more detail. So you can earn Category A PDUs if you take training courses that are offered by PMI registered education providers and also by PMI chapters and communities. If, for instance, you take a course that is 8 hours in duration, then each hour that you sit in the classroom will give you 1 PDU. So that's 8 hours. There is no maximum to the number of PDUs that you can earn in this category. This can be an online course, this can be an in-classroom course, you can take a webinar, you can watch a podcast like this one here. All of these examples will earn you these PDUs. How do you know whether somebody is in fact the PMI registered education provider and these courses count for you in this way? Well, simple. Look for the registered education provider logo that you see on the screen here. Only companies that are part of the program are supposed to show this on their website. Let me give you a couple of ideas how you can earn these Category A PDUs. My first suggestion is the PDU podcast at pducast.com. It works just like the PM Prepcast here, and you can earn an unlimited number of PDUs via your iPod or your tablet or however you're watching the Prepcast right now. You'll get a new webinar every month and you can earn at least one PDU again and again. This is an ongoing program that allows you to make sure that you stay on top of your PDUs all the time. Again, this is at pducast.com. But since you're watching the PM Prepcast for your PMP exam, why don't you use the Agile Prepcast for the PMI ACP exam to earn your PDUs? The Agile Prepcast is our sister podcast here, and it's not just for those preparing for the PMI ACP exam. It's also for PMPs and PGMPs who are looking to earn their PDUs. It qualifies for a total of 37 PDUs, and the price is just $179.99. That is, if you divide these two numbers, just $4.86 per PDU. It works exactly the same as the PM Prepcast, and if you like my training style, if you have enjoyed the PM Prepcast, then I can guarantee you're going to enjoy the Agile Prepcast as well. And, of course, you're going to learn a lot about Agile in the process. You can find all the details about this at agileprepcast.com/PDU. Let's move on to Category B PDUs. They are called Continuing Education PDUs, and basically this is education from non-PMI registered education providers. For example, if you are sitting through a 1-hour internal project management training course in your company, then very likely that 1 hour is going to count for you as one PDU. Just like in Category A, there is no maximum of the number of PDUs that you can earn here in Category B. As examples, again, classroom courses, webinars, anything that a training company would offer to its students in order to teach them project management will qualify. Next we have Category C. This is all about self-directed learning. Here we're talking about personally conducted research or study. And just like with Category A and B, every hour that you spend conducting that research or doing some self-study will earn you one PDU. The big difference, however, is that in this category, you are allowed to earn a maximum of 30 PDUs. For example, you can read books, you can read articles, you can listen to podcasts. And frankly, Category C is really the easiest way to earn your 30 PDUs just for doing some study activity. For example, you could read a project management book, or you could listen to my free project management podcast. Yes, I also offer a free podcast that is out there for everyone to listen. It's called the Project Management Podcast. I've been doing this since 2005, and you can learn more about how you can earn 30 free PDUs from a free podcast by going to pm-podcast.com/PDU. And make sure that you put that dash in there. So it's pm-podcast.com/PDU. Before we move on to the other three categories, let's briefly talk about maximums. So you as a PMP will have to earn 60 PDUs. And underneath that, remember we had those two divisions, the education division and the giving back to the profession division. Well, in the education division, there is no maximum. You can earn as many PDUs as you want in that particular division. However, in the giving back to the profession division, you can earn a maximum of 45 PDUs. There is, however, one little gotcha in the education division. So Category A and Category B, absolutely no maximum. You can earn 30 PDUs in Category A and 30 PDUs in Category B. You can earn 60 PDUs in Category A if you want. There is no maximum. But in Category C, there is a maximum of 30 PDUs. And then in total, over on the right-hand side there, category D, E, and F, they are added up, and a maximum of 45 PDUs is allowed. So let's say you have 20 in D, 20 in E, and 20 in F. Well, that's 45 together. 20 and 20 and 20 is 45, because the maximum you're allowed to earn here is 45 PDUs. Category D PDUs are all about creating new, and that's important, new project management knowledge. Just like we have seen previously, 1 hour of activity of creating new project management knowledge will earn you 1 PDU. For example, you could be writing an article, you could write a book, you could give a presentation about project management, you could be a presenter in a webinar, you could become a guest on my free project management podcast, and by appearing on that podcast and talking about some project management topic, you can earn PDUs. Or you maybe have a blog and you regularly maintain your project management blog here. Now, the good news about this is it's not just the time writing the article or writing the book. Research, preparation also counts. For example, if you are giving a presentation at a local PMI dinner meeting, well, you have to have some preparation time. You have to prepare this presentation. You have to get it ready. You have to set everything up. You have 7 hours of preparation time and 1 hour of presentation time. Well, 7 and 1, that's 8 PDUs that you have just earned for giving a presentation at your local PMI chapter. So category D, as we have just seen, is one way of giving back to the profession by creating new project management knowledge. Category E is much more direct a way of giving back by being a volunteer. The rule here is the same. 1 hour of volunteer service will earn you 1 PDU. As an example, you could be an officer, an elected officer, or a volunteer of a project management organization in your area, or you could run a volunteer project for a local charity, maybe setting up a children's playground or whatever local charities do, and you work for them as a volunteer project manager. Now, let me point something out that is quite important. Officer or volunteer of a PM organization, not of a PMI organization. So if you have a local project management non-profit organization that is not aligned with PMI, volunteering for that organization still qualifies for 1 PDU for each hour of service. And finally, there is category F, working as a professional in project management, or as I like to call it, doing your job. Yes, just by getting up every morning and going to your office, you can earn PDUs fully automatically. You don't even have to do anything here. However, so far we've seen the rule was 1 hour of doing something equals 1 PDU. Here it's slightly different in category F. 1 year, or rather 12 months of working will earn you 5 PDUs, and 3 years then will give you 3 times that. So there is a maximum of 15 PDUs that you can earn as a PMP or PGMP in this particular category here. Yes, and examples are obviously you work as a project manager or program manager for an organization. There is, however, one item you have to be aware of, and that is the fact that PMI not only conducts audits on PMP exam applications, PMI also conducts random audits on people like you and me when we submit our PDUs. This means you have to keep records. PMI recommends that you keep a PDU folder in a safe place, and that every time you earn a PDU, you put some form of evidence, some form of documentation into that folder so that you can prove that you have earned the PDU. For each of these 6 categories, PMI has slightly different documentation requirements. Let's take a look at them in detail. For category A PDUs, PMI recommends that you keep a registration form, the certificate, or a letter of attendance. Remember, here we're talking about PMI registered education providers, and us companies who are PMI RAPs, we are supposed to give you some form of confirmation at the end of the course so that you can claim your PDUs. Category B, if you are taking an academic course, please provide the transcript or grade report indicating that you have passed that course. And for all other courses, PMI asks you to provide a registration form, certificate, letter of attendance, and a brochure or course materials that contains the syllabus outlining the subject matter that was covered and also the qualifications of the instructor or lecturer. Category C is self-directed learning. So here PMI makes sure that you keep track somehow of what you have done. So you need to be able to provide evidence supporting your reported learning project, including notes and dates of discussions or readings. If you go to pm-podcast.com/PDU, you will find a link to our free Category C PDU log file. That's a PDF document. This log file is primarily intended for you to keep track of the PDUs that you have earned from listening to podcasts, but it can be used for any kind of self-study activities for your documentation. Category D is creating new project management knowledge, and once your new knowledge has been published, keep a copy of that publication if it went into a newsletter or on a website, of course, and keep the education materials, the course agendas, anything that proves that you have created and maybe also presented that new project management knowledge. Volunteer service in Category E is next. If you have done volunteer service, then the organization for which you have volunteered will probably give you some kind of a letter or certificate that you have indeed volunteered for them. So keep that letter. What we haven't mentioned under Category E, you could also do some coaching or mentoring of other project managers. If that is what you are claiming PDUs for, then the evidence that you have to keep is some kind of a coaching or mentoring agreement. Could even just be an email that you send back and forth to your coachee or mentee, and that they agree, yes, this is the way we're going to do this coaching and mentoring agreement. And finally, Category F, working as a professional in project management. What you need here is proof of employment, so do keep your job description handy. Alright, so much for the 6 categories and what kind of documentation to keep for your PDUs. There is one PDU-related question that I get a lot. What if I hold 2 PMI certifications? Do I have to earn multiple cumulative PDUs? How exactly does that work? For example, let's say that I hold 2 certifications, the PMI ACP and the PMP. How many PDUs does that make? Well, it's really easy to calculate. If you look into the rules, you will quite clearly see that for the PMI ACP, you have to earn 30 PDUs. And then for the PMP, as we have seen here in this lesson, you have to earn 60 PDUs. So does that make 90? No, the truth is you only need to earn 60 PDUs. Let me show you why. Remember what I said about general and specialized PDUs earlier in this lesson? We learned that as a PMP, you can earn your PDUs from any type of area. So there is no specialized PDUs required. But for the PMI ACP, you are going to have to earn 30 PDUs in the specialized area of Agile Project Management. Okay, so we start out with that. You are ACP and PMP, and you have just earned 30 Agile PDUs. Well, the good news is these 30 PDUs also count towards your PMP certification. Now you go out and you simply earn 30 additional PDUs from some other training company, volunteer service. You come on my PM podcast and be a guest there. You do everything that you have just learned on how you can earn these PDUs, and then together you will have had to earn only 60 PDUs. The first 30, those agile PDUs, they count towards your ACP certification, and they also count towards your PMP certification. So you're 50% done, and then you only have to earn 30 additional PDUs for your PMP certification to close the cycle. And this brings us to this very simple rule here. If you have multiple PMI certifications, then earn your specialized PDUs first, because your specialized PDUs will also count towards your general PDUs. We are getting close to the end of this lesson here, and I'm pretty sure that you may still have questions about PDUs that I have not answered yet. Well, that's what the PDU Insider is for. I created the PDU Insider as a free website and newsletter. I wanted to offer this service to my students and the general PMI community to help everyone understand how PDUs work. On the website and in the monthly newsletter, you will find a PDU FAQ will give you PDU tips and PDU links and, well, frankly, PDU anything. So if you have a question about PDUs, simply go to pduinsider.com and take a look around. And of course, if you have a question that isn't answered on the website or in the newsletter, please write to Ask Cornelius at pduinsider.com, and I will personally answer your question, and the question and answer will also get published in the next newsletter as well. Let's review. By following the outlines that we have given you in this lesson, you can earn all the PDUs that you need quite easily. The trick is for you to know that you have 6 categories available, many ways to earn your PDUs, and that you should mix and match your approach to earning PDUs. Don't forget that you have to earn your specialized PDUs first, and most importantly, be proactive. Start earning your PDUs today. Which takes us to my recommended actions for you. There are 3 that I have for you. First of all, learn about PDUs by signing up to the PDU Insider newsletter at pduinsider.com. After all, it's free and you can only improve what you know already about PDUs. Second, as soon as you have passed your PMP exam, you should subscribe to the free project management podcast at pm-podcast.com/PDU and listen to it to earn your 30 free PDUs. They're truly free. There are absolutely no strings attached there. If you would like to earn additional PDUs from me and you enjoy distance learning and you want to earn category A PDUs in the same way that you are watching this lesson right here, then sign up to either the Agile Prepcast at agileprepcast.com/PDU, which will give you 37 PDUs, or sign up for the PDU podcast at pducast.com, where you will receive 1 new webinar every month and earn your PDUs on an ongoing fashion. And with that, we have come to the end of this lesson. So it's time for Justine to say,
Goodbye, stranger.
And of course, I say, until next time.